What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today is Sunday, private testing out here at Galop Motorsports Park. There's a lot of people out here, but we got John's car out here, Lil John. Bryan got done with it, got it wired up. Everything's good to go. He did a lot of changes. Went from Big Stuff 3 to Holley EFI and went from gasoline to methanol. Got to make sure all the bump stuff's working good, make sure that it'll spool up fine, make sure we don't have any issues there. Not going to be able to share ET with you today, but we're going to show you making some passes, and hopefully we have a good day racing. It's a beautiful sunny day, probably about 70 degrees. This is awesome. Galop Motorsports Park, they do a lot of private testing. So, you know, get up with Dana out here if y'all are interested anytime in doing that. All right, guys, so we're rolling back up there for the second pass. It was a little spicy. This car has only got one wastegate on it, and it had, it seems like a 5 or 10 pound spring in it. Left on 4 pounds of boost, and it got busy. But the boost overshot what my target was, and so it went way up. And he lifted at 1.6 seconds into the run, and it still went pretty fast, so it's decent. But we don't know. We took that wastegate off, took the spring out of it, and I had a blow-off valve spring, and so we put it in there, so it's a lot softer. So it's probably only 1 or 2. So I also dropped the CO2 pressure. It's got one, it looks like a 60 or 66 millimeter wastegate. It's a Turbonetics, and it's got good placement. It's not bad. It's right there at the merge. I mean, it could have a little bit better priority, but it may need another one. So we're going to try it again. I turn it down a little bit on boost. I mean, we're not asking it to go super slow, you know, early. I mean, the launch boost was exactly what we wanted it, but we got to have it so it does follow the ramp. So if it outruns the ramp too much, then we're going to have to put another wastegate on it. But here we go. Made a couple changes, so we'll go up there again and see if it works this time. Well, I'm not going to say today was a total fail, but it did not go as clean as we wanted to. Had a whole bunch of issues, but, you know, it's one of those things. It is what it is. It always happens when you bring a new car out. You have new car blues. This was a car from last year, but we put a lot of different changes in it, and we were trying to make sure everything was working. We had a problem getting the dash to connect to the Holley, which we should have been able to get that corrected before we got to the track, but we didn't have enough time. So we worked on that. I messed with the bump, and this was the bump settings that we had in Randy's car. And Randy's car, he's got an 11-inch Mark Mickey converter, and this is a Cameron 10.5 converter, I think, or maybe 11-inch. But they are drastically different. Randy's, I have to have a very high duty cycle, otherwise it tries to jump real bad. So I started off at that safe one, and we were constantly working our way down. I did end up, we didn't catch it on camera, but I did end up dropping it down pretty significant after we made that second pass, and it bumped a little too much while we were there in the pits. So we're still working on the bump. So that was a fail for us. The first pass, we went personal best for him with the car to the 60-foot, and he lifted on it early. So that was exciting. Second pass, we tuned it on down. It got through there. It shifted at 7,500 RPM, and we missed his personal best by 0.07 of a second from last year. And you saw on that second pass also at the top of the track, it got a little bit of smoke coming out. It looked like we had a tune issue, but it was not a tune issue. What it ended up being was the spark was getting blown out. The spark plugs were gapped a little bit too wide, and so it was causing it to misfire. He got off of it as soon as he felt it, but it still went within 7 numbers of his personal best after he let off of it way early as well. So the car is exciting. It's got a lot of potential. It's going to be fast. It's going to be a rocket. I have no doubt it's going to be one of the top contenders. So it was a new car blues day, but we were at the track. We were having fun. You know, he was letting go of that button, and it was slinging him down through there. I think he's pretty excited. I'm excited to see what it's going to run. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you go to turbojohnracing.com to grab yourself some merchandise. Thanks.